This training system is circuits. We're going to use a series of exercises alternating from different parts of the body. So we're going to, in our case, use a chest press. We're then going to have Chris performing a lunge with dumbbells. We're then going to come into upper body exercise again using a bent row with dumbbells. And then we're going to finish our little circuit with a step up to balance. We could add a bicep curl to that as well. The key with this is the transition between exercises. We need to have little or no recovery time. So the emphasis is to try and get your client both out of breath by the smooth transition and also work the muscles that we're focusing on each exercise. So Chris, let's start with the chest press. Make sure we use safe lifting technique. So I'll say, when you've got the bar or the dumbbell, please say my dumbbell.
Okay, my dumbbell. My dumbbell.
Okay, in your own time, Chris, make sure your core is engaged. Notice Chris's feet are flat on the floor in your own time. Now we're using a step here rather than a bench because we were in a confined space and we're going to be using this step as our last exercise. So just for our purpose, it's easier to use this as a bench as well. Excellent technique. Notice Chris has core engagement. His feet are flat on the floor, so he's nice and stable. Arms remaining vertical throughout, the forearms, and the dumbbells come together. Had a nice deep breathing pattern, not holding his breath at any point. Excellent. So Chris is currently working the pectorals, also front of the shoulder, and the triceps. Last couple. Now with each exercise, we're looking at taking our client towards fatigue. We could be looking for reps here. We could focus more on time. Okay. My dumbbell. My dumbbell. Chris, we're now going to take you into a lunge. We're going to do alternate legs. Excellent. Come back up, change legs. Notice Chris's knee alignment. The knee stays over the second toe at all times. His foot is nice and flat. The weight is on the midpoint of the foot. He's thinking about shoulders back, chest forward, and core engagement throughout. The chin is gently tucked, ensuring the ear is aligned with the shoulder throughout the entire movement. It's fantastic. Keep going. So the key was we had very little rest between or no rest. As your client gets fitter, we can take the rest away. Initially, you might have a very small rest, but really the maximum rest you would allow is 30 seconds, progressing forward toward no rest whatsoever. Now again, for our purpose, we're not taking our client to complete fatigue because we're more showcasing the sequence of exercises and the techniques. Notice Chris's technique in the last few reps is as good as the first. If your client starts fatiguing in terms of the technique, we try and correct it. We go with giving verbal coaching points, and if we can't, then we stop. Chris, that's fine. If you could safely lower the dumbbells to the ground, please. Excellent. Okay, we're going to go to a slightly heavier dumbbell now. So if you could safely lift these up, please. Turn slightly to face me so we can get a better angle for you. Excellent. Okay, bent row. In your own time. So we have a hip width to shoulder width stance, toes pointing forward. Notice how Chris has a neutral spine. The focus here is on retraction of the scapula, also slight depression to ensure there's no elevation through the shoulders. We can notice that the ear is lined with the shoulder and his core is engaged. To check this, we can look at the t-shirt alignment, make sure belly button's been drawn in. And this is quite a heavy weight for Chris, so we are starting to fatigue our client now. Last couple of reps, Chris. Think about core, focus on that scapular adduction. Fantastic, that's fine. Safely lower the dumbbells down, please. Great, okay. If you get the step, please. We put the step back in the middle. So now we're alternating back into a lower body exercise. We're going to use the dumbbells, and what we're going to do this time, Chris, is going to do a step up, and we're going to add a balance component to this. Excellent. And again, step down. Now for balance component, we need to have a couple of seconds. Excellent. If we're just up there too briefly, our client might not have actually stabilized, might not have got correct recruitment of the core and the glutes. Now we could be adding things like a dumbbell curl to this, maybe a curl to press. For our purpose today, we can keep it nice and simple. Oh, Chris is going to add those. Excellent. Notice all the postural checkpoints. Foot, knee over second toe, core engaged, hips remain level when Chris lifts his leg up. There's no hiking of the pelvis, there's no lifting up, there's no dropping down. And his head is staying nicely aligned so his ear is in line with his shoulder. Last couple. Also, as Chris puts his foot down, he's also keeping alignment of his foot as he steps down. So make sure that's happening rather than the client turns the foot out as we lower ourselves down. That's fine. You can rest there. Dumbbells down, please. Okay, Chris, how do you feel? Do you feel your heart rate going up?
Yeah, definitely.
Excellent. So the key is we get to work on the muscles, but we focus on using the sequence of them to get our client out of breath. So we're getting a cardiovascular response as well as a muscular workout from this exercise. If we want to turn the circuit into what we call a PHA circuit, a peripheral heart action circuit, the focus area is making sure that we alternate from lower body to upper body exercises. So the sequence we used was actually that. We did a chest press, upper body. We did a lunge for lower body. We then did a bent row for upper body, followed by a step more for lower body. Ultimately, in a normal circuit, it could be any sequence. It could be push, it could be pull, it could be core, it could be legs. As long as you don't follow the same muscle group in 2 exercises back to back, you'll be fine in keeping the principle of the circuits, holding it intact, its integrity of it. But if we want to turn it into that PHA or the peripheral heart action circuit, then very much it must be lower body, upper body, and vice versa throughout the entire workout. And the duration of the circuit, we've done 4 exercises. We could put Chris back through that little routine again, or we could do a longer circuit, anything between 8 to 12 exercises to make up 1 circuit. As our client progresses, we could do another lap of the circuit, or we could add more exercise to the circuit. So that's our circuits and our peripheral heart action circuit.